Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's all in the numbers, and we're going to show that today. All of us have different numbers, and it shows who we are and the direction we're heading in. I'm talking about numerology. I didn't even know that she did this until recently. She said, "Hey, do you want me to do a chart on you, evaluation of your numbers?" We'll explain that in just a moment. But I do know her as a psychic, a medium. She even rolls deep with astrology. She's an energy healer and so much more. And she's back with us. Alisha B is on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Really good and very interested to look into the reading you did for me. And we haven't even talked about it. You just sent it to me. I printed it
Yes.
out, like to see it on paper. And this is numerology, but essentially based on my name and my date of birth.
Correct.
And why don't we just start? Oh, but even before we go there,
Mhm.
how do you describe numerology for anybody that's not really up to speed on it?
So we all see there's different variations of numerology with a report or a reading, kind of like what I did for you.
Mhm.
It's based on, like you said, your name and your date of birth. And that provides things that are significant for you and you only. And you do it with everybody. And it kind of, as my husband put it, it's almost like a dossier, right? You get to read yourself on paper and you're like, holy crap, that is me.
Mm.
And then there's numerology that, excuse me, deals with angel numbers, repetitive numbers, or numbers that are like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's another version of numerology, and those all have meaning as well.
So, how does it differ from, let's say, astrology?
They work together.
I figured.
So I don't personally do astrology readings, but the numbers make sense to me if that, each of us are in tune to different things and, kind of get called to something. And this past month, numbers have been calling my name, and I was like, I'm gonna see what this is all about. And I started giving numerology reports to like everybody I know. Hey, hey, hey.
So I want to dig into the life path because this is very different than from what I understand. So, um, before I even talk about what I thought, how do you derive the life path number?
So that is derived with you add your month, date, and year of your birth into a single, and you reduce it down to a single digit. In numerology reports, we also look for double digits because they have significance. And if yours comes out, you'll have kind of like a dual reading. You have almost two aspects to your life path interpretation, where if it's a single digit, you have a primary aspect to your life path.
So I always thought my life path number was 11.
I did not get 11.
I'm looking at your math here and I'm not getting it either. And I'm like, this is like I'm derailed. Like I've been living my life as 11. And then I was even told that um, even with the letters in your name, which has significance, right?
Mm-hmm.
That came out to 11 as well.
I did not get 11.
So you
I got
take,
four. Four.
wow. I don't know where
And you can check my math. That's why I write
I
it
don't doubt
out.
it for a second. Yeah, 100%. Wow. Um, one
Nope, I
second.
got it wrong. You're right. Hold on. I see a math
Woo!
error.
And I'm horrible at math. I didn't add anything up here. I only got that from.
We have to redo yours on your life path because so I messed up on adding your year. I just saw that, and I'm so glad we're talking about this. And that's the thing, we're all human and we do make mistakes. So if you get a numerology report, go over and make sure the math is correct so that you're getting an accurate report. So I made math errors. It's so funny because it's
I make them
basic,
all
it's
the time.
adding.
My calculator is right here. My hands.
But that actually makes more sense because on the original, between your personality and your life path, right? They were kind of opposite, if you notice that. They were pretty much a dual opposites.
Hmm.
Now you align both with life path and personality. They're going to align pretty much the same.
So does life path come out to 11?
I'm not getting 90, 20. No,
What do you get now?
two.
Does it come out to, I haven't even done the math on this at all. Does it come out to a double number and then it gets reduced down and it comes out to 11 or something like that? No.
I'm getting 20 as your total number.
Uh-huh.
And then so that would deduce to two.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So life path 2 would be what?
So that goes along with your personality. How we read number two, that's pretty much the same interpretation. You're going to have all those same markers in your life path. But let me check something. I have like 50 books, intuition that I go into with it, and it's a plethora of things I use. A lot of times when you get them, it'll be more along the lines of an automated version. So there's plenty of computer programs that do it for you, but mine's all
Hmm.
hands-on when I do mine. So let's see. I'm getting two on you. So you are going to be a friend.
A
That's
what?
your life path is to a friend. The friend is number two. So number twos are ruled by that compassion, that heart center. And so their life path is about getting that out there, connecting with people. But again, a two needs to be aware of boundaries, right? Because we're very compassionate people and we want to make that connection. We want to help others. We want to do what we can, but often overexert ourselves. So it's very important to set up your boundaries and know what is available to give out and what you need to keep for yourself.
Well, that's making sense. Like seriously, that describes me. It 1 billion%. And I'm in work in progress with the boundaries and all of that. Um,
Hmm.
hmm. Um, so moving from life path to personality number, and that's just your date of birth. So if you're born on the
Just the
5th,
date.
7th,
Yep.
whatever, it's just that
Hmm.
number. That number is truly your personality. No math. That is your number.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
No math.
Hmm. So what did you get on me?
So I got that again, you're a warm natured person and your personality, you're going to be there for people. If they have a hard time, you're like, hey, I got you. I'll help you manage this and kind of navigate your situation. And the same thing comes up in this for your personality. You have to set those boundaries. It's just one of those things where you will overexert yourself to help others and you leave no reservation for yourself to keep you balanced. And so you need to make sure that you're not just going with the flow, but setting up what's appropriate for you and your energy levels and interactions with others.
I'm looking down here. Number two's loving, nurturing,
Hmm.
which at times detrimental to yourself. Reflect back to the life path number. Um, be sure you maintain your individuality. Yeah. Oh my
Yes, kind of like a
gosh.
chameleon. You can almost take on other people's personalities because you feel that energy. And I know we've talked about this many times, but a two is in tune. They're so empathic, they can affect a room. A room can affect them, and they'll carry that and kind of shift who they are to fit into crowds. And so you have to be careful with that, that you stay who you are in all situations.
So it says here in your report, it's easy for you, meaning me, to go with the flow, which makes you a
Hmm.
magnet for connection. Um, go with the flow has been a phrase that has come up many times in the last 6 months. And my mom always used to say, just go with the flow. You should go with the flow. And I am, I even talked about this once before. My interpretation of go with the flow is you just let the ocean carry you, the river of
Hmm.
life carry you. You're just going with the
Yes.
flow because if you don't, you fight the current. You grab something along the river, a rock, whatever it is, and you hold on, or you start swimming the other way. You're still going with it,
Yes.
i.e., there's a lesson to be learned in that direction, and you're just going to take the long way around. You're going to get destination's always the same,
I
but
agree.
Yeah, and that's my
Yeah,
go with the flow, but that's been coming up, and my mom like that was like one of her number one phrases. All our parents had things that they said. They say,
they do. That was one of my parents too. Go with the flow. Just go. Just do it.
yeah, there's as you say here, there's good and bad with that. You could
Mhm.
run with the pack, if you will, but that doesn't necessarily mean the pack supports you, so you may not want to. Um,
Mhm.
but then again, as you've said, there's a lesson in it all. And maybe if you're running with the pack, going with their flow, there might be something there for you to learn, i.e., not to do that, or there's a
Yes.
lesson for you there. Um,
Yes. And if you're going with the flow of a crowd,
mhm.
that you haven't developed that self-identity. And so that's where your lesson is who are you? You need to start asking those questions and moving through yourself. Because with a personality too, you can move with anybody. You have the ability to connect and move with whatever group you encounter, but that doesn't mean that it's healthy for you.
Mm. And I am in the last year paying more attention to that. Like, maybe people, a group that I may have thought was good, supportive.
Mhm.
Not that there's
Mhm.
anything wrong with it, but I thought it was me. It's not me. When you start taking a look at it, um, and you think it was something, but it's really not. And that could even be
Mhm.
people too. You might think
It
somebody is
can.
something, but it was all show and everything. And so I see it for what it is now. You got to be mindful. You got to be mindful. So,
Yes.
destiny number, what's that?
So that is where you're going in life, right? And again, a numerology report is not to tell you specifics. This is a general reading of who you are as a person, what your reason for being physically incarnated is. And so yours is to establish foundations in security or grounding. And it's not so much the grounding we've talked about in meditation or that kind of security. It is to bring it to a greater level. So you're great at managing projects and bringing these beautiful things to fruition because you can build that foundation and you have the detail orientation in order to manage that project and make it come to life.
So I'm a four, and established foundations, security, being grounded. I'm at, that's totally true. Like I need to have a home base. I need to have the foundation. I'm not just, I don't overthink things, but I do think
Mhm.
things. I don't just,
Yes.
well, let's just do that. No, that's there's going to be a reason. I'm not just gonna, I'm not very impulsive.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm getting from this as it's
Yes.
backing that up. Um,
100%. More of a routine kind of person. You're easier or you're more settled in the routine. Um,
and I'm okay with routine. Like for
mhm.
breakfast, I'll eat the same thing every single day for years. And I'm good with that. Yeah, change it up every once in a while, but the main thing that I eat years. I eat turkey meatballs with marinara sauce. That's my
Oh,
breakfast. And half of an English muffin. And I get made fun of. Turkey meatballs at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, they got protein.
that's better. I knew people that ate rice and tuna fish. Like, I don't know how you could wake up and want that in the morning, but good on you.
Yeah, whatever. I have a little garlic on there, and I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's just it's quick, it's easy, but it's routine. And again,
Mhm.
I'll change it up and maybe some egg whites or whatever. But I'm okay with the same stuff. It's okay.
Yes.
It's
Yes. And the
interesting.
beauty about that makes you a great problem solver because you have this thing like life kind of figured out almost, like how to manage a day-to-day basis. And then when an issue comes up, you have a mind that can just slow everything down and work through that issue. And you don't get like wrapped in the weeds, as they say.
You are on a spiritual journey to learn balance and flexibility. This is true. Learning to embrace change and allowing for unexpected growth. Although your rigorous structure has supported you throughout life, your journey of soul expansion is about remaining open to new possibilities. This is everything we just talked about. Um,
Mhm.
Combine your talent for structure and discipline with the embrace of change, and you will create fulfillment and lasting success in your life. So that's about it. Yeah, this is the truth. It's none of us really like change. It can be uncomfortable. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm seeing this, and that is part of, open to new things, just open to new
Yes.
things, which,
Yes.
in the last year, I've done some new things I never thought I would ever do, like never, ever. And I'm so glad I did.
Oh, that's exciting. See, you're
Yeah.
doing it. You're fulfilling your destiny. Karma's gonna leave you alone.
I hope. Well, except the good karma. Bring that on. I'll take
The
that.
good karma, keep
Um,
bringing. Yeah.
here's one I've never, ever, ever heard. Heart's desire number. What's that?
Yes. So heart's desire or soul urge, that's kind of like what pulls you, what your soul propels you to do and accomplish in this lifetime. I'm sorry, I have a gnat in here. Um, and so your number is three in interpretation. That is imaginativeness. So you're creative, you have an entertainment quality and you invent things or create new opportunities. Kind of encompasses that number three.
And that was derived from using, it looks like the vowels in my name.
Correct. It is based on the vowels, and there's actually a numerology chart that goes with the vowels that assigns them a number, as well as when we go through and do your name, like earlier we used your full name for the destiny number.
Hmm.
There is a chart that gives a value for you to calculate this and move through it.
What would you say out of all the numbers is the most important? Is it the life path?
I think it's individual to each person on what the importance is for which number connects to them. There are times you'll get a report and you'll be like, that doesn't really describe me. Doesn't mean it's wrong. That's just a time where you have to be like, okay, now I have to be honest with me. Does this describe me? Do I have these qualities? Do I need to take a look at who I am? But there's no more important, less important. They're all valid to us. They all have a connection and they help us see ourselves a little bit more clear without like the emotional attachment, right? Because this is on paper, there's no emotion in it versus me telling you you have this can kind of create that barrier of emotion, like, whoa, wait, don't tell. No, I'm not like that. So yeah.
I gotta say this is spot on, and I'm not saying that because we're here, and I'm not trying to read into that because, there's the one part here with the destiny number. Yeah,
Mhm.
it talks about uh change, and most of us are uncomfortable with change, but it goes layers deeper than just that and more specifics. Like super cool. Like this, I love this stuff. Um, what's your overall, if you could take all of this life path number, personality number, destiny, heart's desire, and you would encapsulate it, taking all of those pieces together, how would you describe it? You had to describe me based on this.
I would describe that you in a generalized form are a compassionate and heart-centered led person. You have a great foundation stability that allows you to move through life a little different than others, but you also have an ability to connect, an ability to reach people in dark times, an ability to pull them out of that because of that heart center. And it's more about learning how, again, how much you need to give versus how much you need to keep for self and when to actually help others. But led by compassion, heart centered, and just a higher or higher vibration.
And I see something, and I'd have to agree. And I just read the last sentence of the heart's desire number. Um, I don't want to admit it, but it's right. Growth comes when you free yourself by exploring more deeply. Take time to be honest with yourself about how you feel. Go down into the depths of your hidden emotion, and release that which does not serve you. Yep.
Yes,
Yep. And that's, this is the stuff that you don't want to deal with. You don't want
you
to,
don't.
admit to yourself, certain emotions, go, put it over to the side. But,
Yep.
you know, it's there.
Yeah.
And there are reminders that come up. I had one over the weekend, not necessary to get into it. Um, I was driving and saw a sign, and something crystal clear came to me, and it was almost like a bam, across the face. Like, gotcha, right? Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I didn't see that one coming, but it was real. It was, you need to work on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like the universe shows you signs. I literally saw a blanket sign that said it. It was pretty powerful. And I'm not even sure how to deal with it. But I know there's a lot there that the universe is saying, yeah, yeah, you've got some unfinished business in this territory. And I know, and
Hmm.
the universe saying, I know it goes back decades, but yeah, we need to work on this if you want to move forward in many different directions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's always, I love how spirit gets a little more in your face if you ignore them. More you ignore them, they're like, okay, we're going to make it a bigger and a bigger and a bigger sign until you actually listen, and then we'll move forward.
Oh, it did. It did. And I've seen signs before, literally road signs. Maybe in the beginning, explain one
Hmm.
that was profound. But this one was definitely it was interesting, and I'm not even sure how to navigate it, but I can't ignore that it was presented to me for a reason.
That's beautiful. It may take time, but it starts with, like you said, acknowledging it. Okay, I got a sign and now I have to figure it out. So,
It's
yeah,
beautiful and annoying at the same time.
it is. It is. I I did I think I read one for my brother. Oh no, I did an auto writing and sent it to my brother, and it talks about listening. Listen. When we talk to you, listen, listen. And he came back with, I'm trying to listen. You're not speaking my language. Like,
Hmm. Well, sometimes you need to interpret another language. It's like you
yes.
meet somebody on the street, they have an accent or they're speaking in a, slightly other, they may have something important to say. You need to pay attention. You need to figure
Hmm.
out, listen with your eyes, maybe not your ears and all of that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So this is just a part of what you offer. Again, I didn't even know that you did numerology, but I have to say spot on. Gotta say.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah, super cool. How does somebody find you, Alicia? Whether it's this, whether it's a reading, how do they do that?
Best way is to find me on the website, insightpsychics.com/Alicia, or you can call or text, leave a voicemail at 256-469-8111.
Hmm. And you've done readings for me before, and I
Yes.
still remember pieces of the reading, and nobody else would have known that. There was just, no, you wouldn't have known, but it was bing, spot on, spot on. Always great having you here. Thank you so much for
Oh,
today.
it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.